Hi guys, it's me, Science Meets Psychology, and before you click out of the video, like, oh my god, what is this guy doing? Like, he looks so fucking weird and emo and crazy. Okay, these are fake piercings. They're not real, and I'm wearing a wig, so, don't judge a book by its cover. I am emo, yes, but I am not crazy. Well, I am crazy, but, I'm not really. You can trust what I'm saying, basically. So, let's get started. So, being bullied is a horrible thing, and before we get into my experience with bullying, I'd like to share with you how bullying can affect your mental health. So, first of all, here are the problems that it worsens. It worsens anxiety or causes anxiety, depression, and more mental health issues with that. It can also cause suicide and self-harm and other issues, and it also causes low self-esteem. Like, that's the biggest issue that bullying can do to a person is making their self-esteem go down. So, and once your self-esteem is at a very dangerously low point, that's when depression and anxiety and other stuff start to come in. So when you're being bullied, the bully's goal is to make you feel as worthless. Like, the bully usually has either two goals. One, to entertain themselves at all costs, so they do not care how you feel. Or to make you feel bad about yourself so you can give in easily. Bullies target people who are more timid, or people who have less friends, or are more sensitive or give bigger reactions to things. And they target easy victims, which means, like what I said, you're more timid. If you already lack confidence, then the bully is more likely to target you. Bullies also look for people with lower self-esteem, so they're less likely to stand up for themselves. And that's basically what a bully looks for. A bully usually looks for people with no friends to stand up for them, or people that are scared easily, or the bully knows that the person will be intimidated, and that is why they bully, because they want to intimidate the person into giving in. Being bullied can also cause mental health issues, such as depression, where you eventually bully somebody into depression or to a point where they feel depressed, but it's worse if they actually have the real mental illness. Feeling depressed is one thing, but having depression is another. And being bullied can cause both. And when you're bullied, you feel like worthless, you feel like you're not good enough, and you sometimes tend to blame yourself. And that is a result of low self-esteem. And bullies like that. They want that. Some bullies just do it for entertainment and they don't take into account what you feel. But many bullies just do it out of pure evil. Like, they're sadistic and they like to bully people. Or bullies have other problems going on at home and they take it out on you, which is not your fault and you don't deserve that. So, bullies are just assholes, okay? And what they do is they try to make somebody worse. They try to hurt people, and that is their main goal, is to intimidate people, to hurt people, to bully them into hating themselves, so that way they can join in on the bullying and bully themselves too. That's what happened with me. Bullying can also cause anxiety, and it makes you more timid and afraid to confront the bully. And it also can cause social anxiety because you might not know who to trust, and you might not know who is on your side, and you might not talk to people, and you might not make friends. And it's going to be really hard to make friends, especially if people are gossiping about you. If that's what the bully's doing, then you're going to have a hard time making friends. And sometimes, that's just the reality. Alright, let's get into my experience with bullying. So, I have never bullied anybody other than myself, okay? I'm not a bully. Well, I bully myself still to this day, but I do not bully anyone else. And bullying yourself is just as bad as bullying anyone else, honestly. Like, you know, because you're just as important as other people. Um, and basically, my experience with bullying, I've been bullied my whole life. Every year of my life. There hasn't been one year where I was not bullied. I've had several different bullies, and the reason they targeted me was because I was sensitive and they knew I'd give a reaction. Either I'd just cry, or I would yell back at them, or I was just a really passive aggressive person. And at the moment, I am not really being bullied, but this year, last time I was being bullied, there was a lot of stuff, okay? From third grade through like in kindergarten, there was this one girl who I thought was my friend, but she was like really, really mean. And she'd always lie to get me in trouble. Like, two people were like that. And it was like little childish kitty bullying. And then that just continued, and there was this kid named Trent, and he kicked me sometimes when we were in second, and we were first and second grade. He'd kick me, and he'd yell at me, and he'd like do mean things. I think he pushed me before, I don't know, but he'd always like be mean to me. And he once left this note that said like I'm stupid or I suck or something like that, in my mailbox at school. So, at school we have those little mailboxes, and that's what he'd do. And then, yeah, that kid, no fun. There was this girl, she'd gossip about me, and she spit in my food, all this other stuff. And then when it was time for me to move, because one of the reasons I moved was mainly because so I can have a better education, because I was supposed to skip a grade, but my school was so poor they couldn't afford it. So I moved schools, and the school was better, but the people there were worse. The teachers were better, but the students were really bad. So, also, during the time I was being bullied through like kindergarten, through second and third grade first, and then there were these neighborhood bullies that I thought they were my friends, but at the time I didn't realize they were writing "die, die" on my porch with chalk. And then they were picking me up and then not letting me go, and then they were sneaking into my backyard and stealing my stuff, and they would spy on me, and when I was singing, I got so embarrassed. Like, I was one day on the guitar singing. Like, I didn't know how to play guitar. I was just playing along, doing whatever I was doing. And then they were literally popped out from behind the trash cans and the trees and started laughing at me and making fun of me. And they also had this thing called, and they would exclude me in their games. They also had this thing called the Flower House, which was basically a house where it was like an anti-me club. And they were literally like meeting there and excluding me. So that was no fun. When I moved schools, it got way worse. People started to gossip about me more, and in third grade, people got a little physical. They were blocking me from getting to places, and most of my bullying was verbal bullying, but I have experienced all types of bullying before, so I know how they all feel. Like, I've experienced all of them a lot. And there was this one girl, she had already apologized, and I'm not gonna say her name, but, so, she's apologized. We're, like, cool now. We're not friends, but we're not enemies, so I'm glad she apologized. If you're watching this, thanks for apologizing. It meant a lot to me because, I mean, I don't want to make this awkward if you're watching this, but I acknowledge that you apologized, and I don't know if I could forgive you. Like, you know what? I'll just forgive you, because, I mean, a lot of my depression came from that. So, oh, shit, that's so awkward. Anyway, if you're watching that, thank you for apologizing. It meant a lot to me. That was very mature of you. And yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to be friends with you, but okay, enough of my rambling. Okay, so this one girl was bullying me, and I was giving big reactions, so I also played a part in it. And like, she would send people to spy on me, and I had an anti-bullying club back then, and she sent someone to spy on me as a member. I don't know if she remembers that, but she sent a person to spy on me as a member, and they ended up tearing down the club, and just bullshit, okay? And my school, like the school that I went to, did nothing about it. They were like, oh, she wouldn't do that. She's too nice. And because she was kind of like two-faced, and she was probably my biggest bully of them all. So, yeah. But it's over now, and I'm glad she doesn't bully me anymore. She was the type of bully that was more like emotional bullying. It was not much physical. Like, there was a tiny bit of physical aspect in it, but not really. It was more of emotional bullying and manipulating my friends to hate me. And she turned so many people against me. Okay, I bet this is going to be offending her, and I don't want to be the bully, so I'm sorry. I just was really hurt back then. And then, so there was just more of that bullying, and then eventually in 6th grade we had a truce, and she stopped bullying me. Well, we still had some tension between us. Like, it wasn't bullying anymore, she was just being kind of rude. But it stopped being a major bullying issue. And where the bullying really started was in 7th and 8th grade. In 7th or 8th grade, I don't remember which one, it was when I had fake Instagram accounts made of me with my dead name, and they were calling me she, and they were saying, she's a dumb faggot who can't choose between a gender, and that was their Instagram bio, and they were commenting things like, the world would be better off if you killed yourself under my Instagram posts, and they were like, and their thing was, dead name rapes African children was their freaking username, and oh my god, and it was just shit, like, and they had their Instagram name as my dead name. And yeah, so then got reported, the person who did it was suspended for a week. And then, well, later that year, 2 other Instagram accounts were made of me. The police got involved. We still couldn't find the person. The case still remains open until today. And I am in 8th grade right now. That would happen months ago, but the police got involved because it was hate crime, and the people were created like ew dead name as the fake account, as the name like ew, and then my dead name, and then their bio said like, you thought you could get no, that was another one, never mind. And their bio was just really mean things. They were also commenting mean things like nice tits and just rude things. And then that account got deleted, but I did get screenshots of it. That account got deleted, and so yeah, and then the next day there was a new account that was ew dead name 2.0, and their bio said, you thought you can get rid of me? LOL, no. I'm back, you dyke ass N-word. Wow. So mature of an 8th grader to do that. You know, we're teenagers, you know, we start maturing at this age, but not that person. And we had a suspect idea of who it was, but because the police they interrogated him, but because he kept denying it and the police didn't have any proof, they couldn't prove that it was him, even though he had blocked me and my family on social media from his regular account, and he was the only one following the ew dead name account. He was the only one following that, and the dead name account was the only one following him. It was obvious that it was him. So I think he subscribed to my other channel, though. I mean, I don't know, but, you know, I still have a little grudge for that. And then there were these people, my last bullying one till recently was, there were these people on Snapchat who knew I was trans. They were transphobic, and they were bringing up some of my past mistakes. I was peer pressured to say something that was very offensive, and I realized that it was very wrong. But in 7th grade, I was peer pressured by a bunch of 8th graders to do it, and the rumors went through the whole school. Like, I was bullied about it, and I once voice recorded the bullying on my phone, and I gave it to the vice principal, and they were yelled at. That was the best. Like, I literally got it on video, and then, well, not on video, but I put the phone down, but you could hear them talking, and yeah, then the same people that peer pressured me to do it turned against me and started yelling at me and saying, that's not fucking okay to do. You can't fucking say that. And then they're like, if you're gonna get offended by something, don't make me say it. Like, I was too scared. Like, I didn't know what to do. I had a fucking panic attack and I said it. Do not bring that shit up again, okay? I still hate myself over it, and I still have not forgiven myself. They told the principal even after when the teachers came in and resolved it. I got yelled at. Well, I didn't get yelled at, but he lectured me on the meaning of the thing that I said and why not to say it. That was the only time I'd said that word. And if you're all wondering, it's the N-word. And yes, I am not black. And I understand it was very wrong of me to say that, and I should not have given in to the peer pressure. But at 7th grade, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know the real meaning behind that word. And since people of all races, there were just a big crowd around me, peer pressuring me to say it. People of all races were telling me to say it. And they were all crowded around me. They were blocking the exits. Like, I had no choice but to say it. And I thought it wouldn't be a big deal because, like, if a black person told me to say the N-word, like, they told me to say it. I mean, I guess, like, but now, and then other people tried to pull off that same thing and try to make me say it again. And then this time I'm like, I'm not falling for that again, okay? I already got in big trouble last time. So, yeah. And then they were also complaining that all I got was lectured and yelled at in the thing where, and that I should have gotten suspended or I should have gotten expelled for saying it, when it was clearly a mistake on my end, and I owned up to it, and I admitted it, and I'm admitting it again. And then those people at first, though, there were 2 people who were bullying me. They said, oh, I want to be your friend, and we're 7th graders, and I was in 8th grade. This happened, like, within a month ago. So they're like, oh, like, let's be friends. And I'm like, that sounded really weird to me, and I'm like, okay, like, whatever, sure. Knowing that I was not about to trust them this early. And then they started saying, like, oh, Sal has a pussy, and Sal's a girl, and she's all this shit. And they were saying really transphobic things, and they sent nudes in the Snapchat group. Literal nudes. They were online nudes, and they were so gross. And we reported it to the Safe School Helpline, and they contacted and it turns out they were 9th graders bullying an 8th grader. Wow, so mature. And then we contacted my principal because we thought they were like 7th graders, and then they were lying, and then that principal knew who they were, so they contacted the high school principal, and then they got in trouble, I think. I don't know what happened to them. We never heard back, but oh, they were probably roasted so bad. And anyway, that was I've left out a lot of things. Like, I've been bullied so much more than just that, but those were the main things that really stuck out to me. And eventually, after I was bullied, I eventually began to feel like shit. And then my self-worth, like, fucking went down like a fucking, like a plane crash. Like, the plane would just boom, like, hell no. And because of that, I had attempted to die, and I had cut myself a few times. And I still struggle with it to this day. Currently, I am 3 weeks clean. And I am, like, I'm almost, like, more, like, a year clean from trying to die. So, that's an improvement. But that was my experience with bullying, and I hope I inspired some people. So what I should have done was I shouldn't have just gave a big reaction, like getting all mad or crying. I should have just been like, you know what? Like, I don't care about you. Like you're not gonna get to me. And I let it get to me, and I showed it. So yeah. If you're being bullied, you can reach out to my account, Science Meets Psychology, which is my Instagram account, and science_meets_psychology, and you can DM me, and I'll try to respond as soon as I can and give you some advice with bullying. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Bye!